Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. We're going to be working on the blade for this curved spoke shave today. Remember, this is the one that's got the cracked blade in it and that I need to replace? Well, we've roughed it out, but I still need to drill the holes for the slots before I start doing the grinding on it. Because this is high carbon steel, it's work hardening as I drill the hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these carbide bits to drill the hole out. Now the slot that I have to cut in here is slightly bigger than what this carbide bit is. This bit is going to wander in the hole as it goes through. I want to make sure that I don't go oversized, so I'm going to go a little undersized with the carbide bit that I'm using. The other thing I'm going to do is sharpen this carbide bit. Sharpening a carbide bit isn't the same as sharpening a standard bit. You need a much harder wheel. Now this brown wheel isn't the best for it, but it will cut it. I just misspoke. You don't want to have a hard wheel for cutting carbide. You want a soft wheel. The hardness and softness refers to the bond that holds the grains in the wheel. You want to have a soft wheel that lets the grains pop out easily when they get dull. That way the dull ones fall out of the wheel and you'll have sharp ones to cut your carbide. And because I'm going to be grinding, I'm going to need to wear my hearing protection and my face protection. I still have to concern myself with the back angle. I want to make sure that I don't have the heel of the blade rubbing on the part. I want to have the front edge cutting and the back edge have clearance so that it rides free of the surface. So I'm going to hold this carbide bit. I'm not going to rotate it because I don't want to have that front edge thin. I want to have as much support behind it as I can. Carbide is brittle. If I make it too thin, it'll just chip off. So I'm going to hold it at a consistent angle, and I'm not going to rotate it at all. I'm just going to hold it up against the stone. There's a crack in the bit that didn't show up until I took this close-up. Rats. Now that we got the bit semi-sharp, these are never good bits. They're always going to be a little bit funky. But then, they're considered throwaway. You pound a hole through a piece of concrete, you toss the drill bit. This is a 5/16 drill bit. We're going to drill a hole that's either slightly bigger or right on size. I'm betting slightly bigger. First thing I want to do, a little oil in the hole. I've already proved that this stuff work hardens. I don't have to go through that process again. Now I'm not going to use a drill to make a pilot hole because once I go through this thing, it's going to be hard. I don't want to do it twice. Well, that's one hole. And one side of the bit snapped right off. So I actually finished the hole cutting it with one edge. I have another 5/16 carbide bit here. We're going to sharpen this one up and see if we can get this one to drill. That bit made it through. The hardest part of the cut on a carbide bit is that last little bit where I'm breaking through. Shock and impact are not good things for carbide bits. Now you would think that a masonry bit would be used to that, but it's more for grinding, it's not for pounding. Even though the impact drivers have a carbide bit in the tip of them, it's a different grade of carbide. I got some chipping along the edge of this one. If I was going to drill another hole with this, I'd need to resharpen it again, and I'd have to take it back quite a bit because I've got to chip down a good 15 thousandths away from the edge. I never want to put away my tools broken, so I'm going to sharpen the edge on this carbide bit, but I'm going to sharpen it back to be a carbide bit for cutting stone. I'm cooling it off not because it needs it. Carbide really doesn't care about the heat, but my fingers do. This old carbide bit, the blade is broken. It's no longer useful. This one though, still has some life in it, so I'm going to put it back in the rack. And it can go on the shelf for the next time I need one. I've managed to cut the two holes. Now I need to cut out the sides of the slot, and that should take care of it. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.